But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Don't judge according to appearances. Judge with right judgment. So what are we going to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. When I called, you answered me. You made me bold and stout-hearted. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. They joy before thee, according the joy in the harvest. A faithful man shall abound with blessings. Be strong and take heart. All who hope in the Lord. So be careful to live your life wisely, not foolishly. There's a season for everything, and a time for every matter under the heavens. A time for giving birth, and a time for dying. A time for planting, and a time for uprooting what was planted. A time for killing, and a time for healing. A time for tearing down, and a time for building up. A time for crying, and a time for laughing. A time for mourning, and a time for dancing. A time for throwing stones, and a time for gathering stones. A time for embracing, and a time for avoiding embraces. A time for searching, and a time for losing. A time for keeping, and a time for throwing away. A time for tearing, and a time for repairing. A time for keeping silent, and a time for speaking. A time for loving, and a time for hating. A time for war, and a time for peace. Be happy in your hope. Stand your ground when you're in trouble, and devote yourselves to prayer. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from As for you. You will join your ancestors in peace and be buried after a good long life. You were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. So live your life as children of light. The Lord of heavenly forces proclaims, make just and faithful decisions. Show kindness and compassion to each other. Who among you by worrying can add a single moment to your life? In old age is wisdom, understanding in a long life. There is more to life than food and more to the body than clothing.